Once upon a time there was a young man named John who lived with his elderly mother, Mary. Mary was a kind and loving woman who cared for John deeply. She cooked his meals, cleaned their home, and always made sure he was well taken care of. John loved his mother and was grateful for everything she did for him. One day, John fell in love with a beautiful young woman named Emma. After they got married, Emma moved in with John and Mary. At first, everything was peaceful, and the three of them lived happily together. But as time passed, Mary and Emma began to quarrel. They disagreed on many things, and soon they started to resent each other. Mary felt that Emma didn't care for the home as she did, and Emma felt that Mary was always criticizing her. One evening, John came home late from working in the fields. He was tired and called out to Emma, "Emma, I'm tired. Please bring me some water so I can wash myself." But Emma didn't answer. John called out again, "Emma, I'm hungry. Where is my dinner?" Still, Emma said nothing. John was puzzled and a little angry. "Why aren't you answering me?" he asked. Tears filled Emma's eyes as she finally spoke. "It's your mother," she said. "She hates me. She says I'm lazy and that I'm not good enough for you. I can't live with her any longer." John looked at his wife, who was clearly upset. "Please, my dear," he said gently, "try to get along with her. She's old and won't be with us forever. Let's not argue about it now. Can you bring me my dinner?" But Emma shook her head. "There is no dinner," she said. "I can't cook when your mother is around. She always tells me I'm doing everything wrong. I can't live like this." John sighed. "But what can I do? She's my mother. This is her home. I can't send her away." Emma's face hardened. "You have to choose," she said. "It's either her or me. You can't have both of us." That night, John went to bed without eating. He lay awake, troubled by the choice he had to make. "What should I do?" he wondered. "How can I choose between my mother and my wife? My mother raised me, cared for me, and loves me deeply. But I love my wife too. She's young and beautiful, and I want to spend my life with her." The next morning, Emma confronted John. "Well, have you decided?" she asked. "Who do you choose, your mother or me?" "I want both of you," John replied. "You can't have both of us," Emma insisted. "If you want to be with me, you have to get rid of your mother. She's old. She won't live much longer anyway. But I'm young, and we can have a long, happy life together. Kill your mother." John was shocked by Emma's words. "Kill my mother?" he repeated, horrified. "How can you ask me to do that?" John went to work in the fields, but all day he couldn't stop thinking about what Emma had said. "Maybe she's right," he thought. "My mother is old, and her life isn't worth much now. If I take her up the mountain and push her off the cliff, Emma and I can be happy together." That evening, John returned home. "I have made my decision," he told Emma. "Tomorrow I will take my mother up the mountain and throw her over the cliff." Emma was pleased. "Good," she said. "Now let me bring you water to wash and your favorite dishes for dinner." The next morning, John woke his mother early. "Mother," he said, "let's go on a journey today. I will take you up the mountain. The air is cool and fresh up there, and you'll enjoy it." Mary was surprised but agreed. "I'm old," she said. "I can't walk up the mountain." "Don't worry, Mother," John said. "I will carry you." He lifted Mary onto his back and began the long climb up the mountain. At first, Mary was happy. "This is very kind of you, my son," she said. "It's been years since I've seen these old places. It's nice to visit them again." But as they climbed higher, Mary grew quiet. The mountain path was steep and difficult, and soon they reached the top of a cliff. John stopped and set his mother down. "My son," Mary said softly, "I know what you're planning to do. I understand everything, but please be careful. If you must push me off the cliff, make sure you don't fall yourself. Look, there's a tree nearby. Hold on to one of its branches so you'll be safe." John was shocked. "Mother, you know what I'm about to do, and yet you still care about my safety?" he asked, tears filling his eyes. Mary smiled sadly. "Yes, my dear. Only a mother knows love like this. One day when you have a child of your own, you will understand. You will love that child just as much as I love you." John sat down beside his mother, overwhelmed by his emotions. He realized then how much his mother loved him, despite what he had planned to do. "My wife doesn't love me as much as you do," he thought. "She wanted me to kill you, but you still care about me. How can I harm you?" John thought about Emma. "She's a cruel woman," he realized. "I loved her once, but now I see that her heart is not kind. I have made my choice. I will keep my mother and send my wife away." With that decision, John picked his mother up and carried her back down the mountain. When they reached home, he told Emma to leave. "You asked me to kill my mother," he said. "I can't be with someone who has no kindness in their heart. Go away and never come back." Emma left, and John continued to live with his mother, Mary. They were happy together, and John took care of her for many years. He never forgot the lesson he had learned that day on the mountain. True love is selfless and enduring, just like the love of a mother for her child.